Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I did this look for you. This is a mostly Colourpop products look. I've gotten a whole bunch of them and I really love a whole bunch of their products, so I thought that I would show you how I use them on my face and how I created this look. This is one of my favourite looks to create with my Colourpop products. It is using one of my all-time favourite shadows from any brand ever. I absolutely love it. I love the blushes, but I especially love the lip products. I wear the lip products pretty much every single day. I absolutely adore Colourpop products. I think they're amazing quality for a really good price. I live in New Zealand, so shipping can really sting you in the butt. I find the products to be so worth it that I don't mind paying $25 to $40 in shipping, because still the price of the products is not that high in comparison to what else we can get here. If you wanted to see how I got this entire look, just keep on watching. So I am going to start with my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and I'm just going to take a pump of that. It's a really fluid consistency. If you can see, it's kind of dripping down my hands, but I'm just going to take that and pat it in, starting from the center of the face and working outwards. Then I'm going to take my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm going to take 2 pumps on the back of my hand. I forgot all about this foundation. I recently rekindled my love for it just by trying it again. I think my skin was a little bit problematic, so it didn't sit as well, and I didn't like it as much as I used to like it. I also thought that my beauty blender wasn't working as well as it used to, and I needed to buy a new one. It makes such a difference to have a new beauty blender. I've probably had the old one for about a year, but I wash it every time I use it, but I think it just needed a bit of an update. Alright, now with the leftover product, I'm just going to take it and put it onto the centre of my face, which is where I get the most redness. I don't really need any extra coverage toward the outer areas of my face, but I do feel like I need some just in here. And for underneath my eyes, I am going to take my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This one here is in the shade Vanilla, because it not only adds a little bit of coverage, but also highlights, because it's a slightly lighter shade than my face. I do like to balance it out by also putting it in the centre areas of my face, not just underneath my eyes. Then on my round top face brush, this one here is by XO Beauty, I'm going to be taking a mixture of Emphasize by MAC, and this is the banana powder from the Anastasia contour kit, and I just like to press it under my eyes. I like to do it with this flat kabuki brush because I find that it really sets everything without it looking too powdery, so I just pat it on underneath my eyes. And then I like to put a little bit in the centre of my face as well, of just the size powder. For my brows, my favourite thing to use is my Off Wax brow brush. I find that it's really, if you can see it, really thin and precise, but it's a little bit longer, so it's a bit softer when you're doing your brows. And my Anastasia Dipbrow, and this one here is in medium brown, which is this ashy brown colour. I'm just going to wash off my brush with a little bit of the Garnier Micellar water to make sure that the tip is nice and fresh for me to use for my brows, otherwise it can look a little bit messy and it can kind of feather the product so you don't get a sharp line on your brows. When I'm using the Dipbrow, I like to put the brush down in the middle of my brow first, get off the excess product, and then I like to work my way around the outside, usually only dipping my brush into the pomade the very first time I put it on. Like, I don't keep dipping in, I take the amount that I need and then the rest is just feathering out. Then after that, I like to set it all in place with my L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and this is the medium dark one. Alright, so for the face, I'm going to start with Aphrodisiac from Colourpop. This is a sheeny bronze shade, and I'm going to take that on my XO Beauty angled top face brush, kind of working in a contoury area and then blending upwards. I really like this colour. I think it's a little bit red based, which makes it look quite natural on the skin. And then with the Colourpop blush, this one here is in Birthday Suit. It's this really pretty neutral pink, sheeny. I'm going to take that with my Zoeva Luxe Cheek Finish brush. I'm going to swirl that in there, then lightly dusting it on your cheeks The great thing about these Colourpop products, and the thing you also need to be aware of, is that they're very long lasting. So you put them on your cheeks and they're going to stay there. So with other blushes where I would normally go ham on them because I know that in an hour there's going to be pretty much no product left, you need to be a bit lighter handed with these ones because they do stay. You can also go in with your beauty blender because these are cream products. Birthday Suit is probably my favourite blush that I have. I only have 3 and I'm going to be picking up more, and also their highlighters. I'm going to take my MAC 217 Hanky Panky by Colourpop. It is a neutral brown shade and I'm going to put that into the crease area. The great thing about these Colourpop shadows is, again, they just stay, so they have amazing lasting power, which means that you really don't have to use a primer, although I like to. But while I was doing my foundation I put some on my eyelids, and then I'm just going to make sure that's really well blended. Then with the colour here, this is Desert, and this is a warm toned medium brown shade. I'm going to take that on the same brush, and I am also going to be working that into the crease. Then with the colour Hustle, which is a reddy purple shade, I'm going to take that on that same brush and really lightly work that into the outer third of the eye. Then for the exciting part, I'm going to take this colour here. This is Lala, and it is a beautiful rose gold shade. And I know everyone says to apply it with your fingers. I personally don't really like to apply eyeshadow with my fingers because I can't get a smooth or a sharp line where my crease is. I can't apply it evenly, so I'm going to be using my Zoeva Luxe Smoky shader, and I'm going to put that all over the eyelid, stopping at the crease. As you can see, hopefully, there's a little bit of fallout. That's because my shadows are getting a bit dry. I've only had them for a couple of months, but that's just the formulation of them. They're really moussey, so you can see that they're really moussey there. And my one is coming away from the edge, so the product itself is actually drying up, but that's probably because I've used it so many times. You can see it's just falling onto my face. Actually, to mitigate this, I might put some onto my brush and then spray it with some Fix Plus and see if that just helps to moisten it and stop it from falling on my face. Then underneath, I have this Luxe Petite crease brush. I'm going to be taking some more of that desert colour, which is the warm brown shade, and I'm going to be putting that underneath the lower lash line. And then I'm going to add some of the shade, which is a fiery copper shade, on that same Luxe Petite brush. I'm going to put that under the lower lash line, trying to keep as close as I can to the bottom lashes. I'm not going to apply eyeliner. I'm going to put false eyelashes on with a thick band, so I don't need to, but I'm going to be putting some mascara on. The mascara that I'm giving a bit of a test run at the moment is the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Mascara. I'm just going to be curling my lashes with the Tarte eyelash curler. So the false eyelashes that I'm wearing today are the Iconic by House of Lashes, and I'm just going to be taking some of the the Socialeyes Eyelash Glow. The Colourpop lippy sticks and lippy pencils are maybe some of my favourite lip products ever. I absolutely adore them and I cannot recommend them highly enough. So I am going to start with the lippy pencil in Frida. This one actually needs a sharpen, so let's do that before we do anything else. And then I am going to go over the top of that one with the lippy pencil in Cookie. Alright, so that is the finished look. I hope you like it, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye! These lashes are big, girl. They're huge. I don't know. Do I look crazy? Do I look crazy?